It's the Orioles on Masson, and welcome everybody. And no matter what you may be searching for, we've got it. It's game 2, the Rays and the Orioles. Those youngsters think it's down there underground. Come on, kids, get in your seats. The game's actually out here on the field. Think they're having a good time or what? I guess they're playing marbles. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. For the Orioles last night, this pitching of Tampa Bay showed why their starters are third in the American League in ERA, as the Orioles got shut down. As a result, the O's now have a 3-game losing streak. That's right after a 4-game win streak. So what happened? Well, if you look at these numbers, start at the bottom. The answer is clearly evident. ERA during the win streak, .89 for the starters, and nothing out of the bullpen during the 3-game losing streak, .506 and .573. The offense is virtually the same as it was as far as the runs scored. Mike Flanagan, baseball's adage, it begins and ends with pitching.
It certainly does begin and end right there. The starters were just magnificent during the win streak. The bullpen comes in, just slams the door. And you can see the runs, scored runs allowed, just about dead even. So, again, it comes down to outstanding pitching always beats outstanding hitting.
And in this Eastern Division, there's a lot of that outstanding pitching that has to be contended with. The Orioles this season, you can see against the East, their win percentage .231. Against everybody else, much better. The runs down against the East. Team average down. Runners in scoring position way off. Starter ERA up against the East, as is the bullpen. What that means, Brady, is the East is just as tough as everybody thinks.
Well, it doesn't look good, but Nick Markakis has a perfect mentality. When asked about the tough pitching you face in the East, he says, bring them on. Talked to Brian Roberts before the game. He said, this is where we are. You have to find a way to win. The Orioles have, extreme competence with Andy McPhail and Buck Showalter, and it's not an illusion. The Yankees will outspend you by $1 billion over a decade. But you have to find a way to win. The Tampa Bay Rays have been a perfect example about how you can compete with a limited payroll.
All right, we'll see what they can do tonight. The Orioles want to set up a rubber match for the Sunday game. They can do it if they can win this one. When we come back, Game 2. Rays won it last night, 4-1. By Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Deliciously delightful. That's the only way to describe the weather here tonight. It is a magnificent evening. 78 degrees, clear skies, a very brisk breeze had been blowing all day. There's virtually none as we get ready for the first pitch, and a sunset off the warehouse to be retained in a picture. Take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the Rays, it'll be Jasso, Zobrist, Crawford, Longoria, Pena, Joyce, Brad Hoppe, start, Upton and Bartlett. The numbers, Kyle Crawford, lifetime against the Orioles.
Our PNC scouting report on Jeremy Guthrie and what he needs to do to achieve success tonight. 6 for 6. We'd like to make it 6 quality starts in a row because he already has pitched 5 in a row. Stop the run. This club is the best in the business as far as stealing bases, and there's only been 6 attempts against Guthrie all year. And keep Longoria quiet. Just 3 for 17 lifetime.
And we are underway. And Jeremy Guthrie will get it in there for a strike. Jaso, the catcher, 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. The catcher leading off, and he will foul that one away. The Orioles try and come back against this Tampa Bay team. They've won only 3 of the 13 games against the Rays, including only 1 of 7 here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Joe Madden, the victory last night, now for his lifetime as a manager, 391 and 391. And for Buck Showalter, still looking to come up with that magic 900th managerial win, as the O's have lost their last 3. Tampa Bay's won their last 2. 1-2 delivery, and that will be taken outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Jeremy Guthrie retiring 69% of leadoff batters coming into this ball game. 2-2 pitch, foul back again. He's got a 1-2 record against Tampa Bay this year, and lifetime 3-7. This is a rematch against James Shields, a game in which Guthrie came away with a 5-0 win last time he faced Tampa Bay.
That's about 4 starts ago. Outstanding start by Guthrie.
2-2 delivery. Jaso will take it in the air to right field. That is way back, and that is gone. Goodbye home run. A leadoff homer by the Tampa Bay catcher in a 1-0 lead.
That ball was crushed. That ball took 1 bounce and almost hit the Cal Ripken sign up there, PNC sign.
No question about that one.
Yeah, he really turned on this. I didn't know Jason had this kind of power. I consider him more of a singles and doubles hitter. And hitter who coaxes a lot of walks, but that's about halfway up that right center field stand.
That's just his 5th home run of the season for the catcher. And that's what Tampa Bay has been doing to the Orioles. That's the 18th home run Tampa Bay has hit against the Orioles pitchers this year. In this, the 14th game. Tampa Bay has more home runs against the Orioles than any other team. And Guthrie surrenders number 21. The 14th hit by a left-hander. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. Ben Zobrist up.
That's one thing you see more and more of after Ricky Henderson sort of set the example that you can be a power and speed guy at the top of the lineup. More and more hitters, more and more teams having leadoff hitters that do have power. I mean, it must be really uncomfortable for him. You go out there, you sort of want to get comfortable and settle in a little bit, and right away you have a guy 2-0 that you know can take you out of the park and put you behind 1-0.
Yeah, I used to like it actually when Henderson, it was almost worse if he got a walk and he would end up stealing second, third, and just torture you for 3 or 4 hitters.
You'd just rather have him take you deep.
Take it deep and get back on a windup. Stop the aggravation.
Forget about him. Strikeout on Zobrist for Guthrie. And here's Carl Crawford. Crawford had a 3 for 5 in the ballgame last night. He is one of a number of hitters in this lineup who have done some damage against Jeremy Guthrie lifetime. This year, hitting at 298, 15 home runs, and 72 RBIs. Crawford will go after that one and foul it back, and Guthrie gets ahead of him 0-2. Yeah, Crawford last night.
Yeah, 3 for 5, triple RBI, 386 average against the Orioles, and he was all over the bases. Had a nice long conversation with Buck Showalter today saying you have to admire the way he goes from home to third or from first to home, which he did on a couple of occasions last night.
But said, can we have one of those?
Yeah, what is, and he said he just is a power runner.
101 career triples now. And he will take the pitch. It just misses inside. He's the only active player with 100 or more triples. And the youngest to reach that number since, of all people, Stan Musial. Did it when he was 28 years old back in 1949. That one is deep. And it is foul. I never thought of Stan Musial as a triples hitter.
I never thought about triples. Always thought of him more as a high average power type hitter.
But early in his career, Stan the Man got around the base paths.
Babe Ruth, another one if you looked at his overall record. Huge amount of triples, high triple totals, and it's hard to imagine because most images we have of Babe Ruth are late in his career, but he was extremely athletic and lean guy early on in his career before the hot dog started rolling.
That one will be in the hole. That's going to be a base hit. So Crawford is on with a single. He just went with that one.
So with the Oriole defense tonight, Felix P.A. will be in left. Corey Patterson will play center field tonight. Nick Markakis, as usual, right field. Lugo is Sturis on the left side. Roberts and Wigington on the right. And Matt Reeders will be back behind the plate tonight.
So a runner on at first base with one down, and here's Evan Longoria. Longoria batting cleanup, had a 1-for-3 in the ballgame last night. He's hitting .296 now, upping his average. A lot of extra base hits. He's got 43 doubles, 19 home runs.
When you watch Longoria hit, what stands out right away is how relaxed he is at the plate, how calm he is. Even when he was a rookie and in the second year, he never had that tension to his swing. He stands up straight, nice and smooth. Everything seems rhythm. Even last night, you mentioned how he plays third base. There's a certain calmness and smoothness to his game that's unusual for a player who's so young.
He's about as still as anybody at the plate we see, isn't he?
He has that really slow, fluid rhythm. You know, there's no tension there. See him rocking back and forth. Great weight shift, but really effortless power.
And he just missed everybody. He just missed going to Lugo. He just missed the third base umpire, Jim Reynolds. And he just missed getting an extra base hit.
Yeah, low rock. I see the hook on it. And then it's right between the legs and down the left field line.
Tom Foley, third base coach, went over to make sure he was okay, and I'm sure say something else. And Foley moves back 8 feet.
Yeah, I'm going to play a little deeper.
And Crawford back to the bag.
Let's see the most steals versus opponents versus the Rays. It's Brian Roberts. He's stolen 34 times and been caught 7. And for the most against the Orioles, it's Carl Crawford. You can see the steals. Crawford with one more steal than Brian Roberts. He's played about 15 more games than Brian has against the Rays. So actually, Brian has him by percentage points. But both lead against the other clubs.
Crawford is tied for second now with Rajah Davis in the American League behind Juan Pierre for stolen bases. Had to reach for that, protecting the at-bat. Guthrie making him reach out, and he fouls it off. Longoria is only 3 for 17 lifetime against Guthrie. A little smile in his face right there because he just preserved an AB with the save me swing. As Guthrie had him chasing him.
Yeah, it always seems that those good hitters, when they foul something off or just hit a trickler, it always seems to go foul. They don't let them stay fair.
2-2 delivery on the way to him, and that'll be foul back.
That's exactly right. The really good hitters in the league, they buy themselves one more pitch to see, just one more pitch. You see them do that the last 2 pitches. You hang around long enough, you get your good pitch to hit, and eventually you connect, and that's what Longoria is great at.
That's why when we're talking about pitches seen per plate appearance, where the real difference comes, it is that one extra pitch that can give you the chance to get the really good base hit.
That's exactly right. The ability to foul the tough pitches off.
And he loops that one to center field. It is right at Patterson. Corey will haul it in. Adam Jones again is not available. That left shoulder is still a problem. He had the shot in the shoulder yesterday. It's better. That was the word of Buck Showalter. But this is the injury on a swing on the being hit by a pitch, and then he aggravated it, making a catch going into the center field wall, and aggravated again on that swing. When he's going to be available, not sure. But he is not available tonight. Here's Carlos Pena.
Yeah, Buck Showalter telling us that he's been very active in the dugout, though.
He's not a good spectator.
No. And then Cal Ripken Jr. was just the same way. We used to beg
how do we know?
Earl to beat, please put him in the game. When he first came up, he wasn't playing every day. Just one day in the dugout was too much. Earl, please put him in the game and don't take him out for about 14 years.
Adam won't be sitting there in that position for very long. He will be chatting whatever position he happens to be in, however. And it's all about baseball. Pena, big home run hitter with the 77 RBIs. Runner on at first, 2 down. Crawford has made no attempt to go. He was fooled on that pitch. Really, really late on that one. Here's the number we were looking up before the game, and our great crew got it done. The lowest average by an RBI leader is in 1962, Harmon Killebrew. He had 126 RBIs as the leader with a 243 batting average. And that is a strike, and Pena is gone. A run in. Jaso gets a leadoff homer. A base runner left on. Orioles lineup coming up. Southwest Airlines for the Orioles tonight. Roberts, Markakis, and Wigginton. Scott, PA, and Wieters. Lugo, Patterson, and Asturis against Shields. The starter, Ty Wigginton, 4 for 9 and 2 dingers.
Our PNC scouting report on James Shields and what he needs to do to be successful tonight. This is that rematch. Gary mentioned it, that these two hooked up, Shields and Guthrie, with Guthrie coming out the winner, 5-0 shutout. And perfect. He has been perfect in his last 4 consecutive starts versus the Orioles, 4-0 record. And leader of the pack, and probably one you don't want to lead in, but he's allowed 29 home runs. That is the most in the American League.
James Shields has a lot of high numbers. Look at the hits per innings pitch. Walks, strikeout ratio, not particularly endearing, not bad. He gets strikeouts, which really saves him a lot because he's pitching a lot with runners on base. Shields went 11-12 last year. He's 13-11 this year, and he's facing Brian Roberts to kick it off. Roberts, a 245 career average off the Tampa Bay right-hander. And Markakis and Wigginton. Here's the 0-1 to Brian, and that will be inside, 1-1.
Saw Brian going after that first pitch. He was trying to get the Orioles back in the game, something Brian sets up very well because he's takes so many pitches and sees so many pitches, but every now and then he keeps them honest and tries to drive the ball on the first pitch as he did there.
Got a 277 average over his last 13 games as Brian continues to get as many games in as possible here at the end of the season after missing most of it, and he's got a base hit there. Takes that to left. Crawford will get it back in, and Roberts is on.
Look at the Rays defense tonight. Kyle Crawford up in center. Joyce will play right field. Don Lagoria at third base. Jason Bartlett will play shortstop. Ben Zobrist will move into second base. Carlos Pena will play first base, and John Jaso behind the plate. This is third best defense in the American League, and have not made an error in 9 games and just 20 in their last 65.
Nick had an 0 for 4 in the ballgame last night, and as a result, his 11-game hit streak was ended in the ball game. So he'll try and start another one here. There's a season high 11 games for Markakis. Shields delivery to him, and that'll be taken down low. Nick has certainly struggled against this Rays staff more than any other. A 137 batting average this year, 7 for 51 against Tampa Bay. No home runs, no RBIs. 1-0 count on him. Brian Roberts will draw Shields' attention over there at first, being held by Pena. And Markakis will take it. It's 2-0.
Brian truly is one of the best base stealers in the game and has been for a long time. It's interesting watching him. I've actually learned quite a bit talking to Brian about stealing bases because he does it in a way that's sort of mysterious to me. Watch him over, he plays this little cat and mouse game. He doesn't just get his lead, take off and go. He sort of like lulls you to sleep, makes you think he's not going to go, but it's all on timing with him. He, especially at third base, where he's historically one of the best of all time, you can't really get a sense of when he's going. He looks like he's just going to check it out and not really take off here, and then all of a sudden he's gone.
There's a great walking lead.
And he could do the Robbie Alomar special right here, the 3-0 steal. Remember how much he did that, Flanny? He loved it.
Loved the 3-0 steal, that's right.
3-0 count, runner not going, and Markakis will take that one for a strike. Nobody's going to say, but as we've wondered before with that bad hip and bad back, how many times does Brian Roberts really want to try and steal here at the end of this season, and how much do the Orioles really want him to try?
It's hard to not be who you are.
Yeah.
He's out there, he's playing. You can see right there he's going towards second base. So I would say Brian's going right now. Great time to run. Got a base stealer and a guy who really controls the bat well at home plate. So he was going there.
Shields with a good move.
Perfect throw right to the glove.
Markakis, 3-ball, 1-strike count. And that'll be looped off the handle the other way. And Shields comes back to take it 3-2. Talked about the numbers that Shields has that are high. Opponents hitting .281 off him. He is third in the league in runs surrendered. He is first, as Mike said, in home runs that have been surrendered. So he wins a lot of ball games where he gets pretty good offensive support. His ERA is actually up a half a run a game from last year, but he's already won 2 more games than he did last year. Nick Markakis got into it, right center field at the wall, and goodbye, home run! Markakis with a 2 RBI homer, and the Orioles lead.
Well, 9th home is 3-2 pitch. Ends up belt on the inside part of the plate.
You see the side view there, Nick. You see last night, you could almost see he was trying to generate power, like it was bothering him that he wasn't hitting home runs. One of the few hitters in the middle of an 11-game hitting streak will change his stance a little bit as he did last night. Tonight he's back to how he's been hitting the previous 11 games. Not such a big leg kick and with great results.
Markakis gets his first home run since August 5, and Shields surrenders it. State Farm donating $100 to the Wounded Warrior Project for every home run hit by the Orioles in the second half of the season. Ty Wigginton will foul that one away, so the Orioles' first 2 up, on, and in against James Shields, and they take the 2-1 lead in the ballgame.
Well, we said prone to the home run. Again, last year Shields allowed 29. That's number 30 this year.
0-2 delivery to Wigginton, and he'll chop it foul.
It's great to see Nick go deep. You know it's getting to him. He's been one of the Orioles' all-time most consistent hitters since his arrival. But it's getting to him a little bit. I could see last night how he's having a little bigger leg kick and trying to generate a little bit more. He knows his home run totals are down, and he's aware of it.
Wigginton will go down swinging. Shields gets the strikeout and the first out here in the inning, as he slaps the ball back into the glove.
Yeah, this time he goes to the off-speed pitch back to the changeup. That's some of the story that I've heard about Shields, is sometimes he gets a little fastball happy, I guess. Sees that radar gun go up 93, 95. Kind of likes that power pitching mode. The hitters will let you know.
Yeah. Here is Luke Scott. Shift is on against him. He has really tattooed Shields in his career, and Luke Scott, the 11th for 29, includes a home run against Shields. 1-0 delivery to him, off speed.
I'm sure you talked about this last night, but these shifts that the Rays put on, it's crazy. I mean, you watch Luker and BP, I mean, he spends his first 3 rounds hitting exactly where they're not playing him right now. I know, obviously, the stats must show that he hits the ball where they're playing him, but huge hole to the left side of the field for Luke.
That one right into the shift. That's the shortstop, Bartlett. And he makes the play. And there are 2 away.
See how they're doing that last night, Flan? Even on Weeders, they'd start Longoria off right down the third base line with 2 strikes. Longoria would hop out to where traditionally a shortstop would play. It was really interesting watching it. He actually gave Weeders a hit his first at bat, took a couple away later in the game.
2 down, nobody on, and Felix PA coming up. PA with the 0 for 3 in the opener last night, but he too has done well against Shields. 5 for 11 lifetime off him. Shields against the Orioles, 7-3, 3.32 ERA. Felix PA trying to earn a job, not just for now, but next year. Sac fly last night, the only run the Orioles got. Towering rainmaker to right, Joyce. And he's got it. The home run, though, by Nick Markakis after Brian Roberts had let it off with a single has given the Orioles the lead. So after 1, we've already had a couple of home runs in the ball game. Orioles lead it by 1. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. And by 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no 2:30 feeling later. Visit 5hourenergy.com. We're looking at the pool at the Hilton Hotel outside of Oriole Park at Camden Yards, where some folks at times sit on the balcony and take in the ball game. And that one is deep to right field. It's near the wall, and Markakis makes the catch. Nick Markakis robs Matt Joyce of an extra base hit.
A little bit off the end of the bat. Nick reads it well, times it well to that backhand side. Very controlled leap on the play.
Approval from Guthrie. Not spectacular, but that's what good right fielders do. And Nick Markakis is certainly one of those. 1 away, get the leadoff batter out of there. Here is Brad Hopp. Hopp, one of the call-ups with the expanded roster. He was let go by the Colorado Rockies. Signed immediately to a minor league deal by the Rays on August 27. 7-year Major League veteran. 07, he had a career year with 29 homers and 116 RBIs. This year he was hitting .255, 7 home runs, 37 RBIs for the Rockies. So a little insurance for the postseason with another left-handed bat. 1-2 delivery, broken bat, ground ball to Wigginton. 2 down. Orioles are going to close out their weekend series with Tampa Bay. It'll be tomorrow afternoon at 1:35. We hope you'll come and celebrate your holiday weekend with the family and friends here at Camden Yards. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com tomorrow. Revised pitching roster for the Orioles. Chris Tillman has been called up. He's not officially been added to the roster yet, but he will start the game tomorrow against Wade Davis. And Brian Mattis will be pushed back to the start on Monday, Labor Day, a day game against the Yankees. That's going to miss outside. 2-0. Upton, 2 for 3 last night. And Guthrie's 2-0. Another one of those towering pop-ups. Shortstop is Torres. PA actually is going to have plenty of time to get in underneath it, and does. Good inning. Jeremy Guthrie retires the side in order. Orioles remain on top 2-1. Picking up that 25th last night, third time in his career. He's had 25 doubles or more and 20 or more home runs. Call today for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. In fact, Ty had one of those years with Tampa Bay. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. Batting practice means anything, and most of the time it doesn't. Wieters will hit a home run tonight. Boy, was he swinging sweet there in BP today. He just had a nice, easy, rocking, powerful swing, and he was driving the ball.
He was. I saw the whole thing as well. There Longoria goes again over to shortstop. I would imagine he'd have a hard time resisting slapping one to left again like he did yesterday, especially after his ground outs. But it's got to be tempting taking a look out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a giant shift. Really odd shift.
I mean, you have almost 6 players on one side of the field. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and that's a ground ball up the middle, and he has it knocked down. Longoria one hop, and he got him. Oh, what a play by Evan Longoria. 1 to get to it, and 2 to get it over to first base.
Watch this range. He's normally a third baseman. Great long step and a dive. Under control from his knees. 1 hop, accurate throw to Pena.
Seems like they know what they're doing with their shift, don't they?
It's an interesting comment today on our radio show we did with Buck Showalter, talking about his priorities in building an Orioles team. Number 1, defense, especially up the middle. But he said of infielders, said if you play in the American League East, it's not good enough just to make the regular plays. Said if you're going to win games in this division, you've got to make the spectacular plays that will change ball games and give you the wins you need. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody quite say that before. And there's one of those. I mean, there's a leadoff batter retired.
he's right on too. I mean, you see he knows the competition in New York and Boston, what it's going to be like every year. You're not going to be able to just have a normal team out there that does the little things normally well. You're going to have to be outstanding in many areas to catch up to the way the Yankees are going to be superior.
Yep. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and Lugo down the line. It is curving, and it is foul. By the way, the Yankees did win their ball game this afternoon. Tampa Bay, Mike was saying before the game, Tampa Bay comes out every day and realizes they got to win just to stay where they are. As the Yankees had a 7-5 win over Toronto, Chamberlain got the win. Java Chamberlain with Rivera getting his 29th save, and Cano and Timms had the big days. They both went 2 for 4 in that one. Timms got a home run for the Yankees. So the Yankees, again, are 2 games up for the moment. Swung on and missed by Lugo on the changeup. Shields gets the strikeout, his second.
Yeah, outstanding changeup by James. One of the best in the American League for sure. You see him take that speed off. Great arm action on it. Takes about 9 or 10 miles an hour off of it.
2 down, second inning. That'll bring up Corey Patterson, getting the start in center field. With Adam Jones out of there. Had a 1 for 3 last night. Adam, see, we told you he wouldn't be sitting for very long.
Making the rounds.
He's moving around, talking to the folks. Ground ball to first. Nice scoop made by Pena. And Shields over to cover in a 1-2-3 inning. The pitchers dominate in the second inning. Orioles up. Question for the night. Cal and Brooks are 1 and 2 in games played as an Oriole. Who is number 3? All right, you heard the answer?
Stumped.
We didn't give one. Jason Bartlett. What do you think?
Taking a crack at that
No
one,
effort?
Frank?
I'll let you go first. Buy myself some time. Belanger.
Belanger. Okay.
I'd say Belanger if I had to make a guess.
That was bothering. I was trying to think who it could be.
1, 2, 3. Cal, Brooks, and Belanger.
The Blade.
2-strike count quickly on Jason Bartlett. Bartlett 5 for 21. Lifetime off 31-year-old Jeremy Guthrie. 0-2 delivery on the way. Guthrie, since the All-Star breaks, put up some excellent numbers. 9 starts, 5 and 3. A 2.51 ERA in those 9 games. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and Bartlett will take it. It will miss outside, 1-2. Bartlett in the 9 spot for this game did not play last night. Jaso had the home run waiting on deck, the leadoff batter.
I think I would have easily passed Belanger, by the way, but I decided to hit 202 my last year and get released.
Try to get a jump in the offseason.
That'll do it, won't it?
Apparently.
Game of no mercy.
That's like when I went into coaching and they said, can you throw batting practice? And I said, well, probably not. I threw the big key the last 4 years I pitched.
Did that already?
Yeah, I said I've already done that for 5 or 6 years.
And Bartlett again fights it off. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count from Guthrie on it. Jason Bartlett playing it short, a ballpark he likes to hit in. .356 lifetime average here at Camden Yards with a couple of home runs. He'll take that one outside, and the count goes 3-2.
Yeah, he also has a tie to the Oriole family. Jason's father-in-law is Tony Chavez, the other pitcher from Nicaragua besides Dennis Martinez. They both signed about the same time. So Tony Chavez pitched 4 games for the Orioles in 1977. Remember pretty well. Nice, real nice person.
Rays record here, 6-1 this year, hitting .272 as a team, 10 home runs, 7 runs a ball game. They played tough here. Guthrie's going to win this battle on the 3-2 comebacker. Bartlett is retired. Jeremy gets the first out, and now we'll go back to the top of the order. Good crowd on hand here tonight. What a night to be at the ballpark. What a night to be outdoors anywhere. Gorgeous. Jaso delivered the homer, a solo shot. 5 on the year, 43 RBIs. Matt Wieters said, hey, how about that, Matt? Leadoff guy, catcher. Matt goes, something wrong with that.
I'd say good answer.
And Matt said, I wonder how many guys have done that, been leadoff hitters as catchers. 2-0 delivery on the way. Well, we know some of them because Jason Kendall was, of recent years, the most times at bat for a catcher's leadoff. Paul LaDuca did it with the Dodgers. Butch Weiniger with Minnesota. And Raleigh Helmsley, who played with Cleveland back in 1939, was a catcher who led off. They are the 4 players in a century who have the most times leading off while catching.
I think Craig Biggio came up as a catcher, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yep. This catcher got a hold of one. They said it was 430-something feet.
He got that one. Got a good bounce, too, maybe even like farther.
3-ball, 2-strike count. 2 full counts in a row here in the inning. Taken, and he's gone. He wanted to try and fake him up, but he didn't. But he does a really good Cirque du Soleil act with the bat. You see that? He did 3 different flips. That was pretty good.
Great talent. Take a look at his breaking ball right through and on the corner of the zone.
Okay, here we go. Cirque du Soleil. Take a look. I can do this. Then I can flip it again. I can catch it at the other end. Give me a job. Here's Ben Zobrist. He knew it was a strike, but he wanted to try and
buy himself some more time.
Yeah.
That's all.
Bill Welke, the home plate umpire. Maybe if he sees me do this, he'll give me a break. Nope, didn't happen.
I checked one of these swings. Now you guess which one.
Zobrist stays strikeout victim his first time up. 2 down, nobody on, and that's to right, and that's an Adam ball. Markakis has got it. That's 8 in a row, retired by Guthrie, protecting the lead. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. talks about the pitching that's faced, how tough it is in the East, but get over it.
You've got to figure out how to beat those good ones. You know, there's a lot of. You know, I've had some players that made a living out of feasting on 4th and 5th starters and 6th and 7th inning relievers. Well, you know, if you notice how deep in the games these clubs go with their starters, you got to figure out a way to beat them. You know, we had Lester on the ropes the other night, couldn't put him away. We had a couple spots there with Garza, we could have opened him up. And, you know, for us to get where we want to go, you got to beat the good ones too. It's not just a matter of, because a lot of these guys, 4th and 5th starter, look like 1 and 2s on other clubs. That's why they are where they are. You know, it's no mistake about it. When you see Tampa pitch the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning and their starters, same way with New York and Boston, that's why they are where they are. We all know their offensive prowess and all that, but the one constant has been making runs matter from the pitching staff.
And trying to get to James Shields here in this ball game, and his Turris does with a leadoff single in the 3rd. Buck all bundled up there tonight. See the wins versus the AL East?
Yeah, Lester the 28th, and on that list a couple of Rays. James Shields with 18, Matt Garza also with 18 wins again in the division.
Shields with that unusual come to the set position, and the pitch will be inside Brian Roberts. Roberts had a single his first time up, scored ahead of Markakis on the homer. Brian's got a couple of hits now in 5 at-bats in the 2nd game of this 3-game set to be concluded tomorrow afternoon. Short lead at first base for his Turris. Shields gets it in. That one's driven in the air to left field. It is back. Crawford is there, and he's got it. His Turris tags Crawford, a big throw all the way in on the fly. Nick Markakis.
I'll show you yesterday what I was talking about. If you check him out on the left last night, see how his foot comes up very early. That's a clear indication that he's trying to find a way to generate more power. Tonight, a little more controlled leg kick, back to how he normally is. Just those little things you notice. I noticed that in BP, and that's something I know quite a bit about. I've tried to generate power with leg kicks so much. I think I've got my cleats caught in my belt buckle, but it's definitely a sign. I talked to Nick about it today. He said, yeah, but the timing gets a little bit off. When you start your leg kick really early, it gets a little harder. You can get thrown off by split fingers like you saw on that weak ground out that he hit.
And he goes the other way and gets the base hit. So after the home run, delivers the single as Turris stops at 2nd, and the Orioles have 2 on and 1 away.
And that's classic Nick right there. You know, he goes deep his first time up, 2-run bomb into right center field. Comes right back his next and slaps one to left center. Not really slaps it, he actually drove it that way. But again, I always talk about Nick being a really stubborn hitter. He fought the urge to go for another home run right there and just put a good stroke on the outside pitch.
This is starting out as a very typical James Shields ball game. A lot of base runners, a lot of hits, a home run, a couple of strikeouts. Here's Ty Wigginton. Orioles get a chance here, leading it 2-1 with 4 hits, 2 on, 1 down.
Yeah, you talk about Nick being a stubborn type hitter. Shields is that type of pitcher too. He just won't give in. I mean, sometimes the numbers don't match up. When you're a high strikeout pitcher, you usually don't give up a lot of hits. You got kind of a power arm. But Shields has had games. So, look, you get 6 home runs in one game. He always hit 3 off him in his first start of the year. All the way back on April 7th.
And Toronto had that 6-homer game you were talking about, Mike, in August 7 against him.
So there's 9 of the 30 home runs he's given up right there.
Talked to Wigginton before the game about Shields. He said his greatest asset is he has that real competitive mentality. Shields doesn't have the pure stuff that a Garza does, but he goes out and he has tremendous belief in himself. He said he's a guy in the clubhouse that teammates love. He also mentioned he thinks the changeup was his best pitch, and that's the pitch he struck Ty Wigginton out his first at bat.
Wigginton with a 2-ball, 1-strike count here. Garza got the victory last night. Swung on and missed on a pitch down. And the count will go to 2-2 on Wigginton. In order to improve his chances of winning after the All-Star break, James Shields hasn't had a haircut. Can't see it really. It's very curly. He stuffs it into the into the hat in order to be able to get the hat on out there. He calls it, somebody said, well, you got a nickname for it, and his response was, I call it the little poodle on my head.
I mean, he's pretty lucky. He must have started off with it pretty short, because if it was the 70s, it'd be down to his shoulders.
And he says, look at my numbers. You can go. There it is, 6 and 2.
Sense hair without hair.
Runner going to third. Ground ball to third. Longoria tried to cover the bag up. Looks the runner back, but won't get him. Wigginton gets the infield hit. And that's why moving on the bases can move the defense.
Well, and actually what causes him, Longoria break the third, and then he's able to get over and cover. But the little look at Brian Roberts right there buys Wigginton a couple of strides down the line. Get a very active defensive play at third base. Watch, you'll see with Brian's speed, he picks him up, and that little look costs him a couple of steps, enables Wigginton to beat it out.
Ty Wigginton won't get a lot of infield hits, but that's one of them. And the bases are loaded. Here's Turris, Markakis, and Wigginton, and only one down. And here is Luke Scott. The best average in the lineup against Shields belongs to Scott at 379 with one home run. Off-speed pitch will miss, ball one. Big chance to the Orioles. Infield will play double play.
Now if the base is loaded, they're forced to take that big shift off when Luke's hitting. Shortstop still swung around toward the second base side, but not nearly as drastic.
That'll be in there for a strike. Catches the inside corner with it. Luke Scott, bases loaded, 1 for 6 this season, and that was a grand slam. But Showalter spends a lot of time on the front rail just observing and taking it all in. Orioles now have 5 hits off Shields. Scott check swing went around. Home plate umpire Bill Welke makes the call himself.
That's the one pitch right there where I've seen Luke be continually vulnerable. You know, breaking ball, split finger, changeup, out of the zone low. He usually handles everything else. He has a good eye, but that's the one pitch that seems to fool him.
Luke, big numbers against Tampa Bay this year. He's got a 400 batting average, 5 homers and 8 RBIs against Tampa Bay.
They get 9 walks in there, too.
1-2 delivery to him, and that's up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, the back didn't use his usual one-handed check that he uses. But I think you're right. You know, with the off-speed pitches, and that's part of the reason. The one number that's really down for Luke Scott this year is with runners in scoring position, just 191. And I think that's part of the reason.
2-2 breaking ball, no place to put him, full count.
See James Shield taking a long walk around the mound, debating what do you do right here? Do you go with an off-speed pitch and try to fool them, or do you go to them with the power?
Is Turris, Markakis, and Wigginton are the base runners. 3 ball, 2 strike count, and 1 down. Shields delivery to him, and a check swing. Did he go? No. Ball 4 and RBI. As Turris will score, and the Orioles have a 3-1 lead.
And that's a great at-bat by Luke right there. I mean, that, as I mentioned, that's the one pitch he has trouble with. 3-2, you know, you think you're going to get a fastball, or at least aware of the fastball. But, again, tough pitch. Great job by Luke of laying off that. It's really hard to lay off that pitch with bases loaded and a 3-2 count. You just can't really believe that the pitcher's not going to throw you a strike there.
Luke gets his 63rd, run batted in. And the Orioles up it to a 2-run lead. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, will make his way out to have a word with his starter as Shields in trouble here in the 3rd inning. Shields has not lost a ball game here at Camden Yards. He is 4-0 in this ballpark, going back to opening day of 2008. He has had 8 starts. in this ballpark. The Orioles trying to end that number here tonight. Joe Madden, knowing his club's got to win to stay a game and a half behind the Yankees. And the Orioles looking to end their 3-game losing streak and set up a potential series-winning game tomorrow. Bases now loaded for PA. Flied out first time up. Takes the pitch inside for a ball.
That 3-2 pitch to Luke, that's the type of thing Greg Maddux used to do. You see that Flanny, he had that reputation of never walking guys and really used that pitch to his advantage. 3-2, I saw him get many guys out, bases loaded, a 3-2 count, throws a splitter low and out of the strike zone and get hitters to swing. Shields doesn't have that Maddux reputation, so I think Luke was a little more aware of it.
That is the first walk surrendered by Shields in the ballgame. Already, Jeremy Hellickson, recently called up for the minors, a bright young star for them as a starter, now working in the bullpen. Felix PA with a 1-0 count. Shields taking a long time. PA's had only one at bat this year with the bases loaded and is 0 for 1. 1-0 delivery. PA will take it, and the count goes to 2-0.
And this is what Buck was talking about earlier, too. They have him on the ropes right now. Can they really put him away, or can they just do a little damage and keep him in the game? Great opportunity right here. He's going to get a pitch to hit.
I think he's going to get a chance to pull the ball right here and drive.
2-0 delivery. He tried.
And he was just a little too hard. He went a little too hard at that one. He knew he was going to get a pitch to hit. Looked like he was trying to hit a grand slam there. And just a little bit late because he went so hard at that. When you watch Felix, when he puts that good swing on the ball, it seems a lot more effortless than that. Catches it out in front with less effort.
Little breeze, just a small breeze, blowing out a bit to left here. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way to him, and that's up high. And Shields falls behind on PA, 3-1.
And here's what you're going to see. If PA can resist that urge to try to hit a home run, 3-1 with the bases loaded. Seriously, it's hard. You know, you got runners out there. You know you're going to get a pitch to hit. If you can put that nice, smooth swing on the ball, he'll get a good result.
Bases loaded, 1 down. 3-1 delivery. PA into the screen, and it's full. A lot of dramatic moments for a ball game that's just in the 3rd inning, but the Orioles are getting their chances against Shields. With the sacks full here, 3 runs already in. Madden's got to be wondering how long. He's got the bullpen ready to go with Hellickson out there.
That's why it's so important. He doesn't want it to get out of reach.
3-2 delivery on the way, and PA who puts one high in the air to shallow right. Joyce not deep enough to score a run even here. Runner will tag. Bad throw all the way in. Missed the cutoff man. It was, a good throw to the catcher, but in any event, Markakis can't go anywhere, and there are 2 down.
See, that's another situation where the pitcher will tell you what he thinks his best pitch is. 3-2 changeup to Luke Scott for the walk, and another deep count changeup to Felix PA.
So they remain loaded with 2 down, and here's Wieters, who was robbed of a hit by Longoria, and they're going to put the shift on with the bases loaded. 2 down, and he rips it. That's going to be a base hit into the corner. Markakis will score. Wigginton will score. Joyce after the ball. It'll be a 2 RBI double for Matt Wieters and a 5-1 O's lead.
Well, we thought Matt Wieters would have a big night tonight the way he swung the bat around 5 o'clock. Low middle of the plate. Out in front, right through the shift, down the right field corner. Another multiple run inning for the Oriole offense.
48 RBIs on the season for Matt Wieters. Our Exmo brought to you by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. Lugo muscles that one towards first, and that will be handled by Pena for the out. But the Orioles come away with a 3-run third and take the lead, 5-1. you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Bring your Green Turtle receipt to the Orioles box office for a buy one, get one free ticket offer for any non-prime game. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Fred Manfra. 18 years in the booth with the O's. Happy birthday to you. Fred's birthday. Happy birthday, Fred. Fly ball center field. Kyle Crawford way back. Patterson, look at that thing go. In the well. Can't get it. And it'll be a ground rule double as that ball just kept going.
Corey got a great jump on that ball. Here's Kyle Crawford, his last at bat.
And fortunately, that ball went over the wall.
Yeah.
That thing hits off the wall and goes anywhere. It's an inside the park home run.
You're right. You're right.
Corey got a great jump on that. He turned around and faced center field. He turned his back away from the plate. Thought he had a good play. If something's going to bother him, I know Corey's going to. That's a play that he expects to make.
So Crawford's on. Patterson checking out exactly where that ball landed behind him there, right at that well where it's 410. Longoria flying out his first time up. 3 hits on the board now for the Rays. Crawford's got 2 of them. The other one, the home run by Jaso, the leadoff batter. Evan Longoria. Tampa Bay down by a score 5-1, but we are in just the 4th inning. Jeremy Guthrie with Roberts holding the runner close. Goes after one. Can't catch it. Asking was it a strike. He's gone.
And Longoria's struggles continue against Jeremy Guthrie. Now just 3 for 19. Seems like he just overpowers him when they play. Takes him out of that comfort zone.
Jeremy's got 3 strikeouts in the ball game. Pena, strikeout victim. Pena's 9 for 24 lifetime off Guthrie with a home run. Jeremy coming off a win against the Angels. He's got 3 wins, 2 losses in his last 5 starts. And that pitch will be up high for a ball. For Jeremy this season at home, he's 5-6. His ERA 3.86. Lifetime here at Camden Yards, 16 wins, 26 losses, and a 4.3 ERA. 1-0 on Pena. And he'll pop it up. Wieters has it. 2 down.
Here's Corey going back on that ground rule double by Crawford. You see right off the bat, he turns around and does face the ball, but when he gets back, he doesn't look like he's really convinced how far it's to go. He pulled up a little bit early there. If he would have kept going, he could have made a really great play.
And you saw him turning around to make.
Got back to it in time. You saw he got back to it, and then right at the end, he sort of backed off a little bit.
So Crawford's on at second base, but there are 2 down now. Here's Joyce. Markakis made a nice catch first time on him. That'll be a foul ball. Some outfielders will go out and actually walk the warning track, measure how many steps it is once you touch it.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because I was just thinking in my head that specific spot of warning track is deeper than you're accustomed to. Right up there in that exact spot where the ball is hit. You see how it angles toward the 410 there.
It's the deepest part of the yard. It's sort of a well,
exactly.
An angle well
and
there.
It's a asymmetrical angle out there as well.
Right there. Protected with security at all times. Oh, sorry. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Matt Joyce. Joyce 1 for 4 in the 2 games. Guthrie managed to get him to go, and he would not. Missed outside with it. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles jumping out to 5 runs here in the first 3 innings. 5-6-0. The Rays 1-3-0. As we are in the 4th. And that one is hit in the air to right field. That's in the gap. Markakis will not get it. It'll go all the way to the screen. Scores a run. Joyce will go in with a double. Crawford will score. and a 2-out RBI in a 5-2 game.
Well, Joyce gets a little bit more of this one this time. Middle of the plate, sinker. Last time went more towards the right field line. This towards right center field.
Joyce has had Markakis chasing him down each way out there in the first 2 at-bats. Joyce with the RBI. That's his 32nd run batted in this his 55th game. So they get 1 back. Still a runner at second base, 2 down. And here's Brad Hopp. Hopp grounded out his first time up. And that's going to get away. No play at third base. Joyce moves up. That's a pass ball.
Let's take a look, see where this pitch ends up. Up and in. Just goes off the webbing of Matt Wieder's glove.
Now Hop on at third. There are 2 down. Jeremy Guthrie has only 1 wild pitch all year. Pitch will be taken up high, 2-0. Brad Hopp, just his 2nd game. It's being called on the expanded roster. 2-0 pitch to him. Guthrie trying to stay inside but missed. 3-0. See if Hopp has a green light. Joyce off third. 3-0 pitch taking, and he's on. So 4 straight out of the strike zone. 2 on, 2 down. The Brooks Robinson replica jerseys presented by Real Street Staffing, originally scheduled to be given out July 17, are now available. You can pick them up at Oriole Park. Jerseys delayed due to a vendor error, but now with the help of the Fan Assistance Center located in the warehouse, you can get yours. Bring your voucher to any O's game. Stop by the Fan Assistance Center 9 to 5. Call 888-848-BIRD for info. Well, this ends up being a big moment now. The Orioles got the runs, 3 of them in the 3rd inning, to go up 5-1. Tampa Bay's gotten 1 back. Rick Kranitz out. Try and break the momentum currently Guthrie's in. 2 on, and Upton up. Told you last night, Joe Madden's ball club, these are the innings 4, 5, 6 where they have scored the most runs this year in the middle of a ball game. Upton will take it for a strike. First and third and 2 down. Upton flied out to left first time up, down to third and foul. Guthrie gets ahead of him, 2 strikes.
Just watching Upton early in the year, and he has a little bit different way of getting ready. He turns his back heel right toward the pitcher. He's another guy. He puts his toe down earlier, but again, you really judge a hitter once he puts his heel down. And early in the year, Upton was way too early and was sort of had to start all over again. Now his timing's a little better, and you can see by his numbers he's come on in the second half.
Speedster, who's 5th in the American League in stolen bases, 2nd in strikeouts with 133. That'll be outside. 1 ball, 2 strike count on him. Only Austin Jackson of the Tigers has struck out more than has Upton.
Yeah, Upton and Pena, real battle for the number 2 spot. Both at 132, 133 strikeouts each.
1-2. Guthrie just missed inside.
Here you get a look at Upton and his initial load with his foot. A little unusual, different than most hitters that you'll see. He'll make a drastic inward turn.
2-2 delivery.
Just another timing mechanism. Most major leaguers, all major leaguers have one, but they vary.
Pretty good patience here for Upton, who's not noted for waiting around on anything close. He's worked to count to 3 and 2. Runners off first and third. And the look. Upton 9 hits, 28 at bats, and 1 home run lifetime off Guthrie. Timeout asked for at first base as they want to move Wigginton, the Orioles do, behind the runner who will be going here. 3-2 delivery. Upton launches it. Will it stay fair? It is a foul ball. Higher than the foul pole.
Here's Upton again. You get a little better view of how different that is, that inward early turn. But you see his foot position there. He still hit off the firm front left side, and his timing is much better. Like I said, he was disjointed early in the season. He just didn't have the timing with that early toe plant.
3-2 again. And foul it off the other way. Well, B.J. Upton in a battle with Guthrie here. Upton has 3 home runs against the Orioles this year and 7 RBIs.
97-mile-an-hour fastball right there from Guthrie.
Bearing down, looking for the K.
Hardest of the night.
3-2 delivery again, and this time he gets him. Foul tipped into the mitt. 4 strikeouts for Guthrie, a run in on a couple of hits with 2 left on. Orioles up 5-2. The club level All-Star Cafe is part of your visit. Located near the newly renovated club level entrance behind home plate. Cafe's got a marketplace style food court, some ready-to-made entrees and extensive desserts available. The cafe is also where you'll find Boog's famous barbecue. Club level, it is open for club level ticket holders. That's the All-Star Cafe. Make it a part of your day or night here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Smart kids right there.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
It's getting close.
Oh, Mom, you won't believe what I just did.
I just saw Gary.
Color in my face has changed dramatically since I left home. Here's Corey Patterson, the only Oriole who did not hit in the 3rd inning. Patterson grounded out his first time up. And he'll take that for a strike from Shields. Guthrie with a walk and 4 strikeouts. Shields with a walk and 2 strikeouts. 1-1 delivery. Patterson a chopper to the middle. They're not going to get him on that one. Leadoff single for the Orioles, and the Orioles have had the leadoff man on in 3 of the 4 innings. Tonight's Maryland Lottery hit it here fan of the game, Megan Bjorklund from Baltimore. Should have been the last name I had trouble with, not Megan. An Orioles player hits the hit it here sign located in the area. Megan, you're going to win $100,000. Find out more about how you can become fan of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/hitithere. I knew a Todd Bjorkstrand who played hockey, and now I know a Megan Bjorkland who's looking to be rich.
You can hit that sign.
Hit that sign. The Stars had a single and scored first time up. See if he bunts here. Longoria and Pena both coming.
I'm looking for Patterson to steal here. He's a great base stealer. He'll do it a little more traditional way than Brian Roberts. He'll just get a lead and go.
Shields will lob toss that one over there.
It's another thing that's frustrating for Corey and Corey. People who believe in Corey, they know that if he could just get his on-base average up to respectable levels, 350, 360, this would be a guy that would be able to perennially challenge for the stolen base lead.
He can run.
And he's a skilled base stealer. And, he can't just run, but he knows what he's doing when he steals bases. High percentage guy. Great starter.
We did a piece with Corey in San Francisco on his base stealing style, about how he likes to get, he'll go, he said, I go out usually 3, and if the pitcher will give me a moment, I'll take another. Fouled off.
Caught him in between there. If you're taking a look at him, you see how he needed one more step, and he wanted to go. He sort of took that little Bugs Bunny run there, but quickly stopped.
Looking over to third base, Gary Allenson, the signs.
Here's now 0-2, where you kind of get a little bit reluctant as a base stealer because you're aware that this is a typical time if you're going to pitch out. It's now.
Shields stops and throws over. Pena, one of the few first basemen who regularly will play off the bag when he holds it. Most will put their foot up against it in order to have an idea where the tag will go down because of the position. And he likes to take a step off. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that'll be fouled off. 2-strike count. Keith Hernandez used to do that with the Mets, and actually they had to create a rule because Keith would come 3 steps down the line and then go back to the bag. And it became a fielder's balk if you do that, deceiving the runner as a fielder. Pena does not do that. He's nowhere near that far off, but he is step off. 0-2 delivery, that's way up Shields, and Jasko had to go get that one.
And sometimes when you're trying to be quick to the plate, certainly with a lot of speed on a first base, with Shields rushing that delivery arm, never has a chance to catch up, and you will throw the ball up in the zone when that happens.
I'd be a little surprised if Corey doesn't take off here.
Yeah, it seems like he's wanted to run. It seems like the whole at bat.
1-2 delivery on the way. Missed the outside.
He just keeps getting caught in between. You take a look at him. He's got his right foot in the air as he wants it on the ground. He's about a half step away from being able to go.
Jogging to John Shelby.
He's getting some audibles from John Shelby.
2-ball, 2-strike count. There he goes. Swung on a miss. Throw not going to be in time. Good scoop made by Bartlett to prevent it from going through. And a stolen base, Corey Patterson.
See Corey's jump. He gets a little bit of a running lead here. You always hear about the crosser, but you watch Corey. He'll pick his right foot straight up and put it down, and no chance. Not even close.
Meanwhile, Asturias was struck out at the plate. 20 stolen bases, caught only 3 times. Gets himself in scoring position. Asturias strike out the third for Shields and the first out of the inning. Now Brian Roberts, who has singled, scored, and flied out. Nick Markakis, a 2 RBI homer in this ball game for the Orioles. And Wieters picked up a 2 RBI double. The walk by Scott with the bases loaded. The other RBI for the O's. Shields, the 0-1 delivery. Roberts will take it. It will miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pennant race. Looks like the Cardinals are toast. Cincinnati beat them again today. They are now 8 games behind the Reds. 6-1 Cincinnati victory. I think Wainwright started that game for the Cardinals too.
Really, it's hard to believe.
Yeah,
that kind of a staff. Really, it's not so much how many games out there; it's how poorly they have played.
And a real miserable second half for the Cardinals. That's very unusual. They've won only a game in their last 10. Cincinnati's won 7 of their last 10. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Roberts takes that. Shields throwing a lot of pitches. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
He's another one of these pitchers that really does not give in. We've already seen him throw 3-2 changeups, 3-1 breaking balls.
You can see Corey's thinking about taking third, too. You can always tell when a base runner stays in the line. They don't go out to round it on a single. It's another thing you want to do as a base stealer as well. If you're definitely not going to steal on a 3-2 count, you back up a little bit so you can take a better angle into third base. But you see Corey right in the baseline there, not giving away whether he's going to go or not. But that's what you want to do as a base stealer. You don't want to back up and let him know you're not going.
And 3-2 is going to be fouled away.
And he was going there, and he realized he didn't have a great jump.
Brian Roberts having to protect on that one.
Up.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Had some good battles in this ball game, pitcher hitter wise. 3-2 delivery to Roberts. Left center field, hit hard. Upton going. Crawford going. Upton there, makes the catch. No tag on it, as Patterson had played it quarter of the way down, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, that's 2 he's hit to the sign in left center field. Part of the ballpark, the ball tends to fly. Just missed having a couple home runs in the book.
So 2 away, and here's Nick Markakis. Nick 2 for 2, including a homer, his 9th in the first. Ford drive of the game.
Well, on the inside half, about belt high. Nick turns on it. Ends up deep in the right center field seats.
And your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford Drive One. Fake pickoff at second there. Two down. Patterson drawing a lot of attention. Down low for a ball.
This should be somewhat of a pitch around right here to Nick. I doubt they give him anything too good to hit with Wigginton on deck. Nick's obviously hit him very well today. 2-run bomb. And he's confused Wigginton a little bit. Even though Wiggy's got a hit. I was on that one when Longoria broke to third.
1-0 delivery on the way to him up the middle and a cut off. Zobrist and got him. Good play by Pena, who had a reach. That'll save a run. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. It remains a 5-2 game, or Bartlett rather at short with a nice play. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. And by H.H. Gregg, we make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. Orioles have the 5-2 lead as we go to inning number 5. Bartlett, who made that night's defensive play, is grounded out in his only at bat and will foul that one away in a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Mike and I looking at that scoreboard and both staring at each other. San Diego has lost again. That is 9 in a row. Colorado beat them 6-2 today. 1-1 delivery. The Giants play a late game tonight. San Francisco with a win could pull within 2 of San Diego.
And the Giants in that rearview mirror are getting closer. We talked about that last night.
Wow. 1-2 delivery is taken down low. Bud Black's team had been number one in the majors for a good part of the season in wins, led by their pitching. 2-2 pitch to Bartlett. And no play. Jeremy Guthrie, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts so far. He looks to get his second win against this Tampa Bay team this year in his 4th lifetime. He is 3-7 for a lifetime mark against Tampa Bay. Bartlett 5 for 22 off him, and the 2-2 pitch is inside, 3-2. On the full count, gets him to pop it up to shallow right center. Marquez.
Well, take a look at this. Against the AL East, Jeremy Guthrie's lifetime record is 7-27. And against everybody else, he's 21-15. But this is not unusual. If you even go back and you look at someone like Pedro Martinez in his years with the Red Sox, now this is when he's in his prime. Against the AL East, 15 games over 500. You know, that's pretty good, 37-22. But look at him sort of against all others. Now, again, you go outside the American League East, 80-15.
Gee. If he'd had that win percentage overall, it wouldn't have been any.
If he stayed away from the East,
oh my,
he might have 300 wins.
Wow.
But again, I think that's just a reflection on how difficult it is to compete in the East with all the good teams, a lot of the good pitching centralized here in the AL East.
Here's Jaso had the leadoff home run. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on him.
And that was something actually Kurt Schilling was concerned about. You know, he went over, he struggled early on in his career with the Orioles and really never made a name for himself until he went to the National League. And when he was coming back to the American League, I know he was a little bit, worried about the DH and the addition of an extra run on your ERA.
Right, and if he's nervous, how do you think the rest of us feel?
Exactly.
You know? And you can say the same thing. Randy Johnson came over and pitched for the Yankees in the East.
Patterson coming, and we'll have to play it on a hop. Jaso is on again, a single that comes with 1 away here in the 5th inning. He's 2 for 3. Hit number 5 for the Rays. And the top of the order with Zobrist batting second coming up. He is struck out and flied out. Both of these pitchers, as we said, surrender goodly number of hits and are working out of the stretch a good part of the ball game. And so far that's been true. Zobrist couldn't get that one timed and will take it for a strike. Zobrist 4th in walks in the American League, even though he's hitting just 159 over his last 28 games. He came back after missing 6 games with a bad back, and since then has not gotten it going again. There's Wigginton, and there's one. Back to Wigginton, and can't get him. High throw by Turris.
He will try to turn the 3-6-3 double play to get his left-handed hitters from the Rays. Always seem to try to shoot for that hole when the runner is being held on. Turris just gets a little bit underneath it on the return throw to first.
Couldn't come down on the bag in time. Here's Kyle Crawford. Crawford off the fist to short as Turris. He's got it. Good inning for Guthrie. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles up by 3. has been called up from AAA and will go against Wade Davis in the game tomorrow for Tillman. 1-4 at the major league level this year, had pitched much better at AAA, and the skipper took note of that in talking about his start for tomorrow.
I'm not going to throw out some of his good outings this year. He's coming off a good one down below, and a lot of people here I respect think that that I need to get a look at him.
He has not seen him pitch except on video.
On tape, right.
So the rotation gets changed a little bit, and that's what it looks like right now.
Yeah, that Brian Matters will be moved back a day to pitch in New York.
Whether it's actually a six-man remains to be seen, because Buck Showalter said even though Tillman's coming on to start tomorrow, that doesn't mean he will be staying in a six-man rotation, or any other rotation for that matter. Here's Ty Wigginton. Wigginton will go after the first pitch. That'll be to right, Joyce. One pitch, one out. Bottom half of the fifth. Shields trying to settle it down. He gave up the 2 runs in the first inning, 3 more in the third. Orioles have kept at him. He retired the side in order in the second. But he is another one of those pitchers, even though he's not that old, that probably want to get a couple more runs off him if you can, because he'll hang around and wait for his Tampa Bay offense to put some runs up on the board. That's kind of what he's done all year. Luke Scott. That's a strike.
Yeah, it seems like he throws 100 pitches every time out. Sometimes it's through 8, sometimes it's through 5. Just one of those pitches that doesn't give in.
Jim Hickey has been talking to Madden a lot regarding what they're doing pitching-wise. He was on the phone to the bullpen. They're active. Scott, bases loaded walk last time up, and he's grounded out. Shields is the veteran of this young staff. Second time Hellickson's been up. He's 28 years old. 56 wins, 47 losses in his career for Shields. Scott got that one to right center field. It is deep, and it is in play. Scott signaling home run. We may get a video review. He better get the second before he signals the call, though. Right now, it's a double. Buck Showalter is on his way out. Did that hit the back wall and bounce back
it looked
out?
Like it hit the pad to me.
You kind of lose it in that pad. That's why I thought it was in the ballpark, not out of the ballpark. We'll find out quickly.
Yeah, that hit off the top of the orange.
Good call.
Hit off the top of the orange.
Tim Welke, the crew chief, second base umpire, had the right call. He can go to the video if he wants to conference with his umpires, and doesn't have to. And Buck Showalter can only ask.
See right there, we were kind of losing it just below the white line.
There's the conference.
And you saw this in Texas early in the year with the Josh Hamilton home run. I mean, doesn't seem like there'd be any real harm in giving a check. You know, we have the access replay. We had to take a second look to make sure. I'm surprised they wouldn't just give it a look just to make sure they're right.
And the rule is the 3 umpires go, 1 stays. Bill Welke, the home plate umpire, will stay. The other 3 will go to the video review panel, which is down underneath here, once Ernie lets him in. If Ernie doesn't let him in, there's nothing they can do. The other thing is, Welke had to go out and get Buck Showalter. He wanted to stay out there and talk to Luke Scott, but you can't do that in a review situation. We'll be right back. And that is going to drive James Shields out of the ball game as Joe Madden has made the decision to come on. And we're going to get a look at Jeremy Hellickson, which ought to be interesting. I mean, this is one of their bright stars in their organization. He's only 23 years old. He's a starter, moved up with the expanded roster to work in the bullpen. We'll see him when we come back. The Orioles knocked him out in the last game after going only 5, so the O's have gotten to him with the 5 runs and 8 hits and responsible for the base runner. And Hellickson, who just came back up to the club with the expanded roster, is on.
Yeah, he's a young, talented pitcher coming through the Rays organization. We got to see him make a start when we were down in Florida. Outstanding stuff. Outstanding fastball changeup combination, and great poise on the mound. And you can see even at the major league level the walks and strikeouts. I mean, he's been a lot of fun to watch, and much like what they did with Price, they're going to try to do the same thing with Hellickson. Move him from the rotation into the bullpen. He has won everywhere he's played, all along the minor league trail.
So Hellickson with a runner at second base and 1 down will face PA. There's Price now, of course, in the rotation. 1 down. PA has flied to right twice in the ball game and will foul that one off. Hellickson was named this week the International League Pitcher of the Year. 12-3 with a 2.45 ERA with the Durham Bulls. Bulls were 17-4 in the 21 starts he made. Luke Scott with a double at second base. Hellickson with the 0-1. PA will take it to center. Dead center. Turning, Upton, not going to get it. And that's going to go up and over. Ground rule double and an RBI as Scott will score. PA gets the 2-bagger, and the Orioles extend the lead to 6-2.
Here's PA. You see how he sort of calmed down his swing. He had that nice, smooth swing. Looked more like some swing you might take in BP there. Really posed nicely and made sure he didn't get out of control as he was when he came to the bat with the bases loaded earlier in the game.
So PA gets the RBI. That will be charged to Shields. So 6 runs on 8 hits. The final line over 4 1/3 innings. Still only 1 away. And here's Matt Wieters, PA with his 19th run batted in of the year. Matt, a big 2 RBI double in the 3rd inning. Takes the pitch down low. Both Upton and Patterson in center field have had trouble with those balls tonight, hit directly at them to the deepest part of the yard. As Upton, with his great speed, that's a ball he might have a chance at, but he didn't get a good break on it. And then turned his back completely to the plate when he realized he wasn't going to be able to catch it.
He got turned around twice there. He took off one way and turned, then looked back and saw that the ball was going the other direction away from him. But he's pretty amazing how if you watched him track that ball the entire time, he never really broke stride. He did turn around twice opposite directions, but he kept his speed up nicely.
Ball hit a long way by PA. Wieters with a 1-1 count. Ellickson's delivery to him, and it's 1-2. Tough ball game with the offenses getting involved in this. Orioles, who had some problems here in this 3-game losing streak, picking up runs. They've got the offense going here tonight. Buck Showalter after his 900th win. Joe Madden trying to keep his club a game and a half behind the Yankees, who won today. 1-2 delivery, and that's going to go the other way. Crawford will not get it. PA, a late start, will have to stop at third. And Wieters is on with his second hit. He's got a 7-game hit streak, by the way, and he's 2 for 3 tonight.
That's what they mean by staying inside the ball right there. You see Wieters with a double down the right field line his last at bat. Real nice swing right there. And that's got to feel good for Matt. You know, you see his, just 2 weeks ago, his average was getting down to the 230s. When you're a young player, you look up, it never looks appealing. It doesn't look appealing when you're a veteran either. But you see him creeping into the 250s now and starting to have a year that, is going to be okay for him.
Wieters has, in the month of September, now picked up 7 hits in 15 at-bats. Here's Julio Lugo, who has struck out and popped out. First and third, only 1 away. I told Mike between innings, I'll go on record, this is the breakthrough weekend for Matt Wieters. In more ways than one. Buck Showalter spent a lot of time with him this week. This kid's going to be the leader of the ball club. Buck senses that. He's behind him. I got your back. Go out there and play. Be yourself. You're all done being just a first or even second-year player here.
It's time.
It's time. And that's a ground ball towards second base. Zobrist. Bartlett off the bag, but got him, but they won't get it at first. RBI for Lugo, and the Orioles add another 7-2.
This play really cost them a run. Lugo hustling down the line, but double play ball just thrown too far to the outfield side for Bartlett to turn.
Bartlett lucky, Tampa Bay lucky that he got the bag at second base. To credit Lugo with an RBI. That's his 18th of the year. And the Orioles have a 7-2 lead. 2 runs in here in the 5th inning. Corey Patterson 1 for 2. He is singled and grounded out. Runner at first base, 2 down. Lugo back. Orioles doing against this Tampa Bay pitching what not many teams have been able to do. That's pile up some crooked numbers.
Yeah, and against Ellickson specifically. This is his first time out of the bullpen. He's been a starter his whole career. A little bit different adjustment.
Big time breaking ball off speed right there.
Yeah, how good was he in his starts? He's the first in Rays history to win his first 3 career starts. And also became the first in modern history since 1900 to pitch 6+ innings and allowing 3 hits or fewer in each of his first 3 major league appearances. So the Orioles have 2 hits off him in this inning. In his other 3 starts, never more than 3 hits.
0-1 delivery on the way. They really want to get him some work here. I mean, they're in a chase for the division title. They want to get him work in the final month to see if he can work out of the pen and be what David Price was in 08 when he helped them in the postseason so dramatically.
Yeah, you really just can't flip the switch. If you're a starter, you're used to having 15 minutes to get ready for your start, 4 days to look forward to it. When you come out of the bullpen for the first time, you're kind of right in the frying pan, much like Ellickson is brought into here.
1-1 delivery. Patterson missing 1-2.
You really have to be on from the first pitch and have a chance to sort of see what's working and what is not.
Corey Patterson 1 for 3 in the ball game yesterday. Holding the runner at first base is Pena. Lugo a short lead. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Patterson will take it. Dismissed inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the Orioles have Chase Shields, who is 7-3 lifetime against them, turning this thing over to the bullpen, and added one that so far has been charged to Hellickson. He's got a 2-2 count on Patterson. And we'll foul that one off, keeping it alive. Don't forget the wrap-up tomorrow in this series. Chris Tillman has been called up and will make the start against Davis. The Orioles are going to have 2 day games in a row because Monday is Labor Day. They'll leave after the game tomorrow and go to New York. Brian Mattis and A.J. Burnett in a 1 o'clock game at Yankee Stadium for Labor Day. 2-2 coming again. Runner goes. Fouled off.
It just seems like the Rays have been the team that's been running less in this series. The Orioles doing a lot more of the running.
Good battle right here with Patterson. Fighting off pitchers by Hellickson. See if Lugo goes again here. He's not getting a big lead, just going on the pitch. 2-2, 2 down. Not running. Chopper to the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Slowed down by Bartlett. And easily over to third base goes Lugo. Patterson's got his second hit of the game.
That was actually a situation where it was good that he wasn't running. Had he been running, somebody would have been covering. Would have been tough to throw out Corey, but he definitely would have been up the middle and probably would have been able to had he been running right there.
Yeah, what he has timed is that nice high hopper over the pitcher's head. He's done his last 2 plate appearances.
So as Turris will get a chance with runners at third, Lugo, and first, Patterson. As Turris has singled and been called out on strikes. Hellickson having trouble finding that third out here in the 5th inning. And will miss down low for a ball. Good scoop made. Jaso, the catcher. Does have to be somewhat of an unnerving experience for a young starter who's been so good. One-0 count. That'll be a souvenir. 1-1. Joe Madden finally reached 500 as a manager with this ball club. 391 wins and the same number of losses. This team, of course, had 10 losing seasons before they finally got it together. Like Showalter. Now 17-13 since taking over. 1 ball, 1 strike count on his Turris. Runners off first and third. In the air, third base side, Evan Longoria. And he's got it. But the Orioles will add a couple, and they'll do it on 4 hits, leaving 2 on base, extending the lead by 5.
some runs to work with. It started off, he really has had everything working. Breaking ball, getting Ben Zobrist, catching Carlos Pena looking. You can get a couple of back flips along the way and a lot of shaking their heads. That's real good stuff tonight. It's had some runs to work with. Struck out 5 and has only walked 1.
Guthrie after the 9th win of the season, if he can get it, and his second against Tampa Bay this year. Longoria leads it off 0 for 2 in the game. He was struck out and flied out.
Yeah, not a lot of action in that Rays box. Solo home run starting off the game. Crawford a double and a single, and an RBI W by Matt Joyce. Matt Garza making some quotes yesterday talking about he wanted to pitch like his hair was on fire. That's really the pace that Jeremy Guthrie has had tonight. Looking very quickly, not wasting any time.
2-1 delivered to Longoria, and that's going to be in there for a strike. Longoria only 3 hits in 19 at-bats, lifetime off Jeremy Guthrie.
See him showing frustration because that was a hanging breaking ball, and it just froze him.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery. Foul. Longoria 295 batting average with the 0 for 2 he's had in this ball game. 19 home runs. 2-2 delivery and a chopper to third. Running throw. Lugo throws it away, backed up by Roberts. He'll tag him just in case, but no turn towards second was made. Longoria's on.
That comes in and tries to surround it and just gets underneath the throw to Wigington. The position that Lugo has probably played the most infrequently is third base.
Official ruling is a single that he would have beaten it out even on a good throw. So Longoria credited with a base hit to start the inning here in the 6th.
Do you have any whiteout?
I don't.
It's a little suspicious.
I just marked mine out with ink.
I don't remember getting those hits when I... This is a weird place for the scorekeepers here. Seem to be a little harder on the home team than the visitors.
Carlos Pena. Pena struck out, popped out. Guthrie has 2 of the best hitters lifetime against him in this lineup. Pena's a .391 hitter and Crawford .342. They are both among the top 8 against Guthrie lifetime. He gets the ground ball here to Roberts. There's one. Relay, and they get the double play.
Again, this is a pretty rare sight. A double play by Carlos Pena. Roberts to Asturias and Pena. Just the 3rd double play he's hit into.
He was number 1 in the league and not hitting into double plays. Well, that's a big 4.63 right there. And there are 2 down. 2-away clears the bases for Joyce. Joyce has hit the ball hard twice, both times to right field. Markakis a fine catch in the 2nd, and then an RBI double in the 4th. And he'll foul that one into the chalk. Want to remind you, let the games begin. Georgetown game tickets are now on sale at guhoyas.com.
And are we not supposed to talk about that play, Flanny? That's just not a hit right there?
What's that?
Longoria? Is that what your whiteout was for? You had already marked down?
No, because I had marked down.
Rightfully so.
Right. I already had marked down an error. I can make the E into a B, and it becomes a single.
Base hit. There you go.
Creative scorekeeping.
That's right. Trying desperately not to mess the book up. And Joyce goes after one, and Guthrie's out of the inning. He's got 5 strikeouts, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. A beautiful evening in Baltimore. Park Fireworks Night VIP experience. One lucky winner, 4 VIP seats, VIP parking. It'll be September 17 against the Yankees. 4 passes to watch batting practice in the field. You can get your chance by going to Orioles.com VIP experience. Enter today. That's Orioles.com. For the O's, it looks like this.
Yeah, a little busier box score. Brian Roberts, single run, 2-run home run by Nick Markakis. Scored a couple of runs along the way. So a lot of contributions. Matt Weeder, double, single, couple of RBIs. And the bottom of the order has really instigated a couple nice rallies along the way. They have scored in every other inning tonight. The first, the third, and the fifth, all multiple run innings.
Hellickson's pitch will be fouled down the line as the Orioles try and add to it here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Roberts, Markakis, and Wigginton. 18,943, 18,943 the announced attendance on this gorgeous evening. We started at 78 degrees. Inside from Hellickson. And the count goes to 1-1. Trying to beat this Tampa Bay team. They are 40-25 on the road right now. Most improved road team in baseball from last year. And they have already tied the most road wins they've ever had in their franchise history. And as you would expect, they set it back in 2008 when they won 40 road games. 2-1 strike count. And Roberts takes that to right field, driving Joyce back at the wall. And he makes a nice catch and then drops it.
So that'll be scored in error.
No.
Well, Brian's hit 3 balls on the button tonight. A couple out to left center field. That one out to deep right center field. Only has the leadoff single to start the game to show for it.
Yeah, exactly. He's had 4 really good at-bats tonight. Could have had a double in the left center field gap if Upton and Crawford went out of there, and then got robbed a little bit on that one as well.
Nick Markakis. Nick adding to his totals tonight. Homer single and a ground ball out. 2 RBIs. And 2 runs scored for Nick Markakis tonight.
I was always taught early on by my dad that you had to take the ball out of your glove cleanly on that play. I would have been panicking that was an error if I would have done that same thing out there. I guess that's a little bit of a...
It's a safe way to do it.
It's probably better than fumbling it and dropping it around and kicking it out there. But
yeah.
I think technically you're supposed to do that. Probably a little bit of a bending of the rules.
1-1 strike count on Markakis. Nick still tied for second in doubles with 41, 12th in walks in the league, 17th in on-base percentage. 1-1 pitch to him. Hellickson will take it away. Got to believe this pitcher and this hitter may see a lot of one another before their careers are done, as Hellickson will certainly be with Tampa Bay next year as a starter. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Took a little off that and got it in. 2-2.
Yeah, he's a strike thrower. 18 strikes out of 26 pitches, just 8 balls so far by Hellickson.
Right-hander's got a 2-2 on Markakis. Nick will foul it off the other way.
It's another way that Rays are able to compete. You know, there's a good chance they're going to lose Crawford to free agency. They're going to lose Payne to free agency, and they keep coming up with guys like Hellickson who can come up right from the minor leagues and be young stars until they become free agents and most likely go to the Yankees.
Got a kid named Jennings who's probably going to be an outstanding position player. Joyce, who they missed most of this season. Outside with it, and the count will go to 3-2.
That's going to be a rough hit for them, losing Carl Crawford if they're not able to re-sign him. I mean, pretty irreplaceable.
Too much money all coming due in 1 year is going to be the problem. 3-2 delivery on the way, and got him a breaking ball, and you might want to save that swing, but you probably won't see it again in the next 5 years.
Again, I think it's the first breaking ball that he's thrown. He has an outstanding fastball changeup combination, but look at the finish on that breaking ball.
It also speaks to the stuff of Hellickson to get Nick to look like that, huh, Flanny? It's not common.
Never see Nick get fooled like that. 2 down, nobody on here in the 6th inning. Ty Wigginton a single, a run scored. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. And Wiggy will take it for a strike. $11-hit ball game for the Orioles. Jeremy Guthrie, the Orioles starter, giving up just the 2 runs on 6 hits against the Rays. Wigginton has hit .300 against Tampa Bay this year. 4 homers, 6 RBIs. Thought about it, stays back, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. He can throttle back pretty good. Foul tipped into the mitt.
You can see what the scouts like so much is the 3 above average pitches. He throws 93 with movement, great changeup, and late biting breaking ball.
Two count to Wigginton with 2 down and nobody on. And he'll get a base hit into right field. Joyce over to get it. And Ty Wigginton has a 2 for 4 ball game.
Great job of hitting there by Wigginton. You know, he just snapped off a nasty curve to Markakis. He just fooled him with the same pitch. So he was really aware of that and actually wanted to stay back and see the ball a little extra there, and was able to inside out the fastball for a rocket to right.
So Wigginton is on. Orioles will try and get a 2-out rally. Luke Scott, he has doubled, had a bases loaded walk, and has grounded out. Hellickson with 2 away, waiting as his team gets into the full shift here. And Scott will take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner.
You notice how they play the shift on Luke. It's different than the one to Wieters. Wieters, the outfield actually shades into the left field side where the infield swings around to be a dead pull hitter. Luke, they're playing pull infield and outfield.
He'll dump that one in. Kyle Crawford, who has swung over there, comes over to get it. So back-to-back singles with 2 downs, Wigginton and Scott.
And they just have a difficult time defending Luke Scott. You can see they really have almost a third of the field cut off, and he goes a little bit to the left of the 8 players that are out there.
So the Orioles get 2 on and a chance to add to their 7-2 lead. It's 13 hits in the ball game now for the O's. Felix Pie, an RBI double his last time up. He has flied out twice in addition, both times to right field. And the pitch is in there for a strike.
PA thought that was a little outside. He was just getting confirmation that that's as far as it goes. It's normally a dialogue that goes back between a hitter and umpire on a call like that. You just want to make sure, is that as far as it goes? They say, yeah, that's it. Got the corner.
Bill Welke is at home plate umpire. Hellickson's 0-1 delivery, and that'll be hit into right field for a base hit. Joyce is charging. Wigginton is turning. Here's a throw to the plate. There's going to be a play, and he is safe. He got in underneath it. Jaso put the tag on. Home plate umpire Welke saying he got him under the arm after his legs were in. Madden will come out to ask.
I think Liz throw by Matt Joyce gets on top of it. Nice one-hop throw. Quick sweep tag. Not sure that Jaso got him on the first swipe. It looks like he may have missed him. Almost put the tag on too early and then had to come back. Take a look from this angle. Yeah, it seems like he missed him and got him on the way back.
Yeah, you're dead on, Flame. Great job right there by Welke, too. I mean, he's having a great game tonight behind the plate. He was really in great position to make that play, and didn't just, he really looked at it. He didn't just say, oh, the throw beat him, I'm going to call him out. He really called what he saw there. Great job by the umpire.
Wiggy getting in and an RBI for PA. Madden wants a timeout. He's going to talk again to Bill Welke. The runners moved up on that, by the way. So PA's got a 2 RBI ball game. He's 2 for 4. Here's the play again.
And you see the tag, and what Welke was saying, he said he went under the arm and missed him, then his left foot touches home plate and gets him on the way back.
I mean, that's a great call. How many times do you see where the throw beats the runner, but they don't put the tag on? The umpire just doesn't look. I mean, he called it like he saw it, and then he explained to Madden exactly what he saw, and he was right.
I think Madden wants him to ask, but on this kind of a play, if he's asking about the call at the plate, somebody else had a better view.
I think he might be talking about the runners moving up, and that time was called after that play.
All right.
Not exactly. They're trying to do a little lip reading.
Both Scott and PA went up a base. Jaso wanted to argue because he thought he had the out, never looked at the runners. He turned around to talk to Welke instead, and I think you're right, Mike. That is the question.
I think that's what he's saying. How could you see everything you're making the call at the plate?
See, the runner's going here already to third and second.
I think Joe's just trying to make a point and saying, how can he be watching that play at the plate and then watch the runners advance and with time? Of course, Joe's had 15 ejections as a Ray. Leaves him tied with Larry Rothschild, the most in team history. So Joe not afraid of those confrontations.
So the intentional pass will be surrendered here to Matt Wieters to load the bases.
That was a great call because that swipe tag didn't miss him by much. I mean, you can see he was inches away from tagging him, and he was all over and explained to Matt exactly what he saw, and he was right on.
And the umpires got every part of that call right because, in fact, the runners were going. There's no question they were moving up on the throw while the play was still underway. So the bases are loaded. Ty Wigginton. Crow. Similar hairdos.
I'll tell Wiggy you think so.
I'll tell Wiggy. He'll tell me. He doesn't care. He scored a run. Scott, PA, and Wieters are on. Here's Lugo, an RBI and a fielder's choice. He has popped out and struck out. Orioles have extended the lead to 8-2 here in the 6th inning. And a chance to do more damage with 2 down. Orioles got a lot of base runners.
Yes. Started pretty harmlessly. 2 outs, nobody on.
1-0 delivery. Lugo now with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Hellickson, Mike said he got the first 2 outs on a lot of fanfare, and then Wigginton singled, Scott singled. PA, the RBI base hit, moved up on the play, intentional walk to load him up. In the air to center, Upton. And he's got it. But the Orioles will get a run. They do it on 3 hits. They leave the bases loaded. Ty Wigginton. Arms up, work this time. Tag under, feet on, then the tag. 6-0 for the Rays. And on Tuesday, September 14, the first 10,000 fans 15 and over receive a Buck Showalter Orioles T-shirt presented by Real Street Staffing. That's the final T-shirt Tuesday, 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com for info. That's September 14. A big cut and a miss. As we move to the 7th inning, Hopp is grounded out and drawn a walk. Brad Hopp is the DH. 0-2.
Jeremy just wasting no time getting it back. And right back to the rubber. Before you can look up, he's had him down 0-2.
Oh, 2 count. Hopp trying to slow it down a little bit. And will foul that one off. 7th inning, game 2 of the 3-game set against the Rays. Orioles trying to improve their 12-40 record in the East. And the 3-game losing streak. 0-2 delivery. That'll be up high. Belford just activated a couple of days ago in the bullpen. 1-2 in the kitchen. Didn't have quite enough blouse to be hit by a pitch. Close, though. Here's Guthrie's 2-2 delivery. And the count will stay at 2-2. And Hopp the other way. Hopp's primary use will be as a designated hitter, according to Joe Madden. All the people he's got available. He's got Rocco Baldelli for that job as well, and Deanna Navarro, backup catcher. That one to second, Brian Roberts. 1 down.
Let's go back to the 4th inning and look at the at-bat against B.J. Upton. Last time up, he's ahead in the count, and he hits a long one. And he comes back, throws 97, a little bit late on it, and he comes back with the fastball again and goes right by him. Just have to really like that sequence of pitches. Many times if a hitter takes your best fastball deep and pulls it foul, you'll go to a different pitch. He came back and threw harder and harder.
As hard as he's thrown during the game to anybody.
That's what he's done a great job of tonight. You know, he came out, he had to feel pretty good in the pen. He threw 97. He normally doesn't throw that hard. And then John Jaso immediately takes him deep, first batter of the game. You might start questioning your fastball a little bit, or is it really as good as I thought it was coming out of the pen? But he stayed right with it, kept attacking the hitters in the zone. Here he is, 111 pitches into the game, still throwing 94 miles an hour.
Trying to continue his real good string of starts since the All-Star break. B.J. Upton 0 for 2, flied out, struck out, 1-1. That just missed inside. Michael Gonzalez getting ready in the bullpen. Guthrie's up to 112 pitches. Fouled away. Jeremy coming off the win against the Angels. Gave up no runs on 4 hits and 8 in the 3rd innings in that ball game. Two count. Lets it go up high. 3-2 on Upton. Bartlett waiting on deck. (3-2). Curving foul and out of play. Got a few rainmakers up in the air today. A couple of them have been foul balls. Upton with a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
See, Upton wasn't going to get another fastball blown by him there, 96 miles an hour, and he turned on it and hit a foul. Guthrie might want to go to the cutter here.
On the 3-2 delivery, he got him.
Just really squared off today with a lot of the fastballs. I think with the 8-2 lead, he said, "Here I come." Up and on the inside part of the plate.
6 strikeouts for Guthrie in the game. And Bartlett has had an 0 for 2, stands in, bases empty. Flied out, grounded out. Bartlett goes to short as Torres is there. And Guthrie has a solid 7. Sets them down in order. Orioles on top, 7th inning stretch time. Brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. Tonight, a leadoff home run as Jesso started it off, but Nick Markakis in the first answered with his 9th. That was good for 2 RBIs. Matt Wieters, big night at the plate. That double would drive in a couple. Felix Piet would follow through as he has had a double, a single, and 2 RBIs in the ball game. Ty Wigginton getting in on a close call at the plate to pick up another run.
Look at the game summary for tonight. Guthrie, 7 innings, a couple earned runs, 7 strikeouts along the way. Markakis, 2-run homer and a single early. And then Matt Wieters, a double, single, couple RBIs. So some big nights on the offensive side. 14 hits and 8 runs on the board.
Jeremy Guthrie with a chance to win number 9. Being congratulated as he is out of there. Not officially yet, but obviously he's going to be. Joe Madden out. He's had a lot of discussions with Bill Welke, the home plate umpire. I think asking him if that water's cool enough, if it's okay. He'll get him another if he wants to. But and Grant Belfour is going to come on to do the pitching. Hellickson out.
Yeah, just fresh off the disabled list, 45th appearance on the year. Outstanding ERA. Pretty big numbers for Grant Belfour. 13 walks in 43 innings and 43 strikeouts and less hits than innings pitched. Power arm when he is certainly right, low to mid, and sometimes upper 90s, right over the top. And they certainly tough competitor, an important part of the Rays bullpen.
So Hellickson came on for an inning and 2/3, a couple of runs on 6 hits, 1 intentional pass, and 1 strikeout. That's how quickly it can happen as a reliever. And Hellickson out of there for Belfour. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Orioles have Patterson, Asturias, and Roberts due up. Orioles hoping to maintain the lead, create a rubber match tomorrow. Chris Tillman will be added to the roster after the game tonight. Wade Davis will be his opponent. 1:30 tomorrow. And then on to New York. Labor Day game, 1 o'clock from Yankee Stadium on Monday. What are you looking at me like that for? 2-day games in a row. We love them. Especially with travel in between.
It's a day game, yeah. Yeah.
Here's Corey Patterson. Oh, he got that one. Will it stay fair? No.
Yeah, Corey was already into his home run sprint. Just a little bit foul. Plenty of distance. Talking about Corey, he has surprising power. Great foot speed and surprising power.
He's strong and fast. He's wired right. Saw Corey before the Anaheim Angel game. He was in the weight room. He had 300 pounds in the squat rack, so he works at it as well.
Did he go? They check at third. Yes, he did. Jim Reynolds. 2 singles, 2 for 3 in the ball game for Corey.
Yep, went a little bit too far.
You could count that a swing. You know, when Madden came out, you saw him kind of joking around with Wilkie in between innings, an inning after he had gotten his face. Very good chance he might have been telling him, hey, I saw that on replay, and you got it right. You know, you want to maintain your credibility with umpires when you argue with them. Not just let them know they're wrong, but let them know when they're right as well.
Yeah, we've talked about that with the Red Sox while they were in town. Dave Magadan, their hitting coach, about how every single play that goes on the field now is instantly reviewed, because back in the clubhouse, the video machines are running, players are running back and forth, taking a look, seeing about calls, strike zones, etc.
That's exactly right. I'm sure by the time the inning passed, Madden had got the word that he was safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times you get the word from the clubhouse, and while you're in the middle of the argument, and you go, am I going to keep on fighting this battle, or should I give up?
Slowly backpedal away at that point.
You know what? Maybe fight another day.
Patterson, the 1-2 delivery to him, and a screwball down and away there with that changeup. And Belfour starts it out with a strikeout of Patterson. We remind you can join Orioles legend Scott McGregor at High Tops Backstage Grill 6 to 8 Tuesday. It's the Orioles alumni viewing party. Scott will be there signing autographs, having a chance to chat with fans. And the Yankees will be on Masson HD at 7:05. That's High Tops Backstage Grill, York Road in Timonium. For details, go to OriolesReach.com. One away, and the pitch will miss to Torres. Torres, a single is scored, is struck out and popped out. 233 is average, and we'll foul that one back. Oriole shortstop has had a little better luck on the road this year than he has here in his home yard. As Torres, 244 on the road, only 221 here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. That one bounced off the catcher, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. He's been 1 or 2 in fielding percentage for shortstops in the American League virtually the entire year. He's second right now.
He's about as steady as you get at shortstop.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. And that one is swung on a miss.
As you were saying, Grant Belfour is right. You don't see the ball real well when he throws in the low to mid-90s. 1-2 pitch to Torres, right to the glove, little late movement.
Right into the mitt. This will be a very important comeback if Belfour is healthy and can finish out the season and go into the postseason if they make it. He's a big part of that pen. Brian Roberts up. Roberts will take it for a strike.
Roberts has shown today how hard it is to hit for average at the big league level. I remember Cal Ripken Sr., when I was a young player, used to say, you have to hit the ball hard 3 times a game to hit 300 in the big leagues. And I used to look at him like, what are you talking about? 3 times hard 3 times a game? He said, you have to hit the ball hard 3 times a game to hit 300 in the big leagues. And Roberts a good example of that tonight. Had a single in the first and 3 bullets, but nothing to show for it his last 3 at-bats.
Got a couple of hits in 8 at-bats in the first 2 games. Bryant to right gets his first hit off Belfour. He'd been 0 for 5 against him. So Roberts gets a single, and how often do we see that?
A little bit of justice right there for Brian. 3 bullets and then got the blooper to fall, but really good day at the plate for Brian. He stayed on everything and was finally rewarded again.
Yeah, pretty good breaking ball right off his shoe tops.
Yeah, watch Brian. Watch how his head stays over that ball. He's so good at that, how he doesn't go forward with his body. He does stay over the ball, but that's something that, Brian's another model I use when I teach hitters. There's not a lot to go wrong with Brian's swing. Very consistent, and the numbers have backed that up for the last half decade.
Now Markakis, and he will foul it back. So the Orioles pick up hit number 15 in this game. 8 runs on 15 hits. Second time up for Gonzalez for the Orioles. Markakis, a homer, a single, 2 for 4 in the game. 2 RBIs and the 2 runs scored. Runner at first, 2 down, the 0-1 to him. Belfour's got some movement on his pitches.
Oof. Yeah, both ways. It'll cut and it'll dive and have the more traditional movement that a right-hander will have. A lot of movement because I guess he's from Australia, down under. So you would think being down under.
Don't explain it.
Never mind.
No, don't explain it.
I won't go there.
Here's the 0-2, and it's away. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
He ranks third among Australian-born pitchers. This is now 249 games pitched behind Graham Lloyd.
Waiting for you to burst into Timey Kangaroo down sport.
We could really get off and have your Vegemite sandwich.
Oh, here we go. 1-2 count, 2 away. And that one is towards the corner. Crawford coming over and will make the catch. Fortunately for all of you, Timey Kangaroo down sport will have to wait. No runs, 1 hit and 1 left on. Orioles out. For the Orioles, time to text in your vote now for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. Markakis, a home run, a single, and a couple of RBIs and a fine catch to go with it. Jeremy Guthrie, just 2 runs, 6 hits over 7 innings, looking to win this ball game. And Matt Wieters, he's had a couple of RBIs and a 2-for-3 ball game. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862.
Can we text it in? I already voted.
Who'd you go with?
Mike Gonzalez coming in from the bullpen. That's what I'm going to go with.
Come on.
What an avoidance.
You know me. I'm a pitching guy.
You are.
Mike Gonzalez making his 20th appearance, 0-2 with an ERA over 4, 1 out of 3 in save opportunities, but really has been a tale of really the beginning of the year and then coming back off the disabled list. Retired the only batter he faced on Tuesday versus the Red Sox. He has a 1.93 ERA in 14 innings of work, just 3 earned runs in 16 appearances since being activated off the disabled list. He really has helped this bullpen solidify at the end of the ball game bullpen.
And that's going to be foul tipped. Kelly Shopik has come on to take over the leadoff spot. Jasko out of there delivering a 2-for-3 ball game. But this is how Joe Madden makes the changes depending on right or left-hander. Shopik the backup catcher for the season. That will be bounced. Shopik, Zobrist, and Crawford due up against Gonzalez. One ball, 1 strike. Guthrie out of there with a real fine performance. Gave up that leadoff home run to the first batter and didn't give up anything else until the 4th inning on the double by Joyce, and that's it. 6 hits.
Yeah, outstanding, dominating outing by Guthrie.
It's great to see Gonzalez lighting up the gun at 94 miles an hour. You know, he's struggling so much in spring training. Hadn't cracked 90. Started the season in Tampa and was really struggling. But watching him pitch, I had no idea how good his breaking pitches were. That must have really been bothering him early in the year when he was having arm problems. I think his breaking pitches were affected more than his fastball. You could see every now and then he'd get it up to 91, 92. But his breaking pitches really had no bite on him, and they do now.
And this one It's not touched by Kelly Shopping, a strikeout victim. Guthrie had 6 strikeouts and only 1 walk. Zobrist is 0 for 3 in the game and 0 for 7 in the first 2 games of this 3-game set. Oh, 1 pitch floated on the outside corner for a strike.
It's acting like a backup breaking ball to the outside part of the plate against Zobrist.
Two-strike delivery, and he's gone. Wieters will step out to get the angle.
You see that bite on that breaking pitch that he didn't have early in the season. Great to see that bat. That's, again, he's getting his closer's stuff back. Great to see that. You know, he's a really good guy to have in the clubhouse. Must have been awful for him to start off the year struggling like he was and being injured. So this is a good story for him and the Orioles.
And he gets a couple of quick outs here in the 8th inning. Crawford has doubled, singled, scored. He's also popped out in the ball game. Even 300 now for Carl Crawford. And that's going to be swung on and missed. Guthrie really shut him down after the 4th inning. Only 2 hits. 5 through 7 off Guthrie. And nobody got to second base. Crawford gets away from that. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
His fastball really does have good life on it, doesn't he? You see that pitch run up and into Crawford, and Crawford's wondering what happened to the guy that he faced opening day.
And then back outside. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. What a great shot. Oriole Park at Camden Yards on this gorgeous night. 1-2 delivery. Just got a piece.
You know, it could be that Gonzalez is just trying to keep up with Mark Henderson last night, striking out the side in his first inning when he came in, and striking out 5 of the 6 outs that he recorded.
96 miles an hour on that last fastball.
1-2 delivery. He does strike out the side. End it while we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Orioles looking to pick up the win. And right now in charge of this game 8-2. Hang on to this 8-2 lead, can take this 3-game set. As the rubber match being set up, Chris Tillman's going to be added to the roster and go against Wade Davis. The 2 starters tomorrow. Our coverage 1 o'clock goes extra, presented by your local Ford dealer. Game coverage 1:30. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Yeah, Wade Davis, who's 3-0 against the Orioles, has pitched outstanding in a microscopic turnover average against Chris Tillman. These two actually faced off once before earlier in the year, so it'll be good to see the matchup again taking place tomorrow.
And here is Lance Cormier coming out of the bullpen. A good inning work by Belfour as he gave up just one hit.
It's kind of the long man out of this Rays bullpen. 52 innings on the year, 65 hits. He's really more of a control pitcher, throw anything at any time. He's one of those pitchers that sort of a journeyman type pitcher that's been around, but throws enough strikes, gets his breaking stuff over. He can be very effective.
Kelly Shopping will stay in the ball game and do the catching. Ty Wigginton looking for his third hit of the game. He's had a 2 for 4, 2 singles and 2 runs scored. And oh man, mercy.
Pretty smooth.
Longoria makes it look like it was just a little roller. One down. Koji O'Hara getting ready in the bullpen. Not a save situation.
Yeah, because he and Gonzalez, really both getting some work with a pretty good sized lead.
Luke Scott having a great day at the plate tonight. Talk about Luke a lot because there seems to be a discrepancy between how he's perceived and what he's accomplished in his career. This year, Luke Scott is 4th in the American League in slugging with a .565 slugging average. You're wondering how hard that is. Hank Aaron with 755 home runs had a career of .555 slugging average. So not comparing Luke to Hank Aaron just yet, but if you can have one season in which you can make a comparison to Hank Aaron, certainly getting the job done.
That's going to be off the bag, and Pena knew it. Good play. Pena knew that ball was going to hit the bag, so he kind of set up like a goaltender in hockey, ready to do whatever needed to be done when it bounced, and it went right to him. So Luke Scott, 2-hit ball game, RBI with a bases loaded walk, grounds out there. Little roller off the end of the bat.
And is there no justice? Can't go foul.
Can't get one off the bag even to go.
Yep. Almost took a home run away from him. It's been a long night.
Felix Pierre's had a 2-hit ball game as well. He's got a double single, 2 RBIs and a run scored. 2 for 4. 2 down.
The great thing about Pierre's day is he started having his great day after he had that rough at bat with the bases loaded where he was swinging a little bit hard. And that's sort of a hard thing to do when you're a young player. You feel like you let the team down a little bit, not getting the run in. He came right back, had 2 great at-bats after that, and was rewarded for it.
That'll be fouled away. For a PA on the year now, that's 13 2-hit ball games that he's had. And if he can pick up another one here, it'll be his 5th 3-hit game.
He has an effective swing that's going to work. It works against all sorts of pitching. It's been working against left-handers. It works against 98 miles an hour. It works against top-speed pitches. It really made a huge improvement since the beginning of last season.
PA and the off-speed pitch will foul it away. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count on him. You know, Chris Tillman's hanging, looking, watching. Not officially added till after the game is done. But it looks like he's going to have a chance to start the rubber match game tomorrow. 1:30 game time, 1 o'clock. With the pregame, owes extra. That one grounded towards second base. Obrist is up with it. Waits for Pena and gets it over there. So a 1-2-3 inning recorded there. The Orioles 3 outs away from the win. 9th inning coming up. Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. So the Orioles need 3 outs to get the win. 9th inning, 8-2. They've out hit the Rays 15-6. Koji Uehara coming out of the bullpen. He's had a save in each of his last 5 appearances with a tremendous 1.80 ERA. He does not get a chance at a save in this ball game because of the score, but time for him to get some work in. So here he be.
Yeah, he's had a couple of tough saves along the way. The one comes to mind, I guess, in Anaheim, coming on to get the final out, using one pitch to record it with the game somewhat in jeopardy. Runners on first and third, but on the year, 30 innings of work, 27 hits, 5 walks, 32 strikeouts. Terrific strikeout to walk ratio. Of course, again, that 5-out save. He's pitched to an 0.82 ERA in his last 19 appearances. Everything just seemed to click for Koji.
So here is Evan Longoria to lead it off in the 9th inning. And Longoria will take it up high. A single his last time up. He is 1 for 3. Koji Uehara has worked 3 previous games against Tampa Bay. 4 1/3 innings, no runs, 2 hits. Tampa's hit only 143 off him this year. There's a silo shot. Waiters. Oh!
Well, tracking it all the way. He just seemed to come back with that backspin, just go off the webbing of his glove.
That will be charged with an error, keeping the at-bat alive. The Longoria gets another chance at it. The 1-1 delivery by Uehara will be taken up high. 2-1. It is one of the true plays in baseball where the position player is naked. Those towering pop-ups, I mean, the whole world has a chance to watch you. That one to the corner, Felix Piet. 1 down. So Longoria's gone, 1 away, 9th inning. Pena coming up. He's had an 0 for 3. And in the first 2 games, an 0 for 7. So they've kept the power hitting bat down. You see the 206 average and 77 RBIs. We had a big discussion before the game up here. Brady, Mike, and I were trying to figure out who's had an average that low and had that many runs batted in. Towering fly ball to right. Nick Markakis will get under this one. So Brady went to his computer and we'll tell you what we found. Here's an update on the voting AT&T Player of the Game. You still have time to text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862. Results on the O's Extra Post Game Show. Dave Kingman once hit 204 in a season and had 99 RBIs. Gordon Thomas hit 244 one year and had 123 RBIs. And Mark McGwire in 91 hit 201 and had 75 RBIs. Payne is right up there with that group for the average and RBI totals. We showed you earlier Armin Killebrew with the most RBIs to win an RBI title and have the lowest average in doing so. 2 down, 9th inning, Joyce. 0-2.
Not a bad group he was in, though.
No.
A little bit of dubious stat we were looking at, but pretty esteemed company as well.
Fans up, O's 1 out away. Uehara down low. Jeremy Guthrie with a win here is going to go 9-13. A great outing. 2 runs, 6 hits over 7, a walk and 6 strikeouts. The Orioles got to James Shields early. 6 runs, 8 hits, and 4 1/3. Shields will be 13-12.
Nice to see the crowd into it a little bit.
1-2 away. Here's the 2-2.
I wanted that one.
Have to have jumped out of the booth to get it. We don't recommend that, although some have done that up here.
They have, but they have not come back.
No. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Joyce waiting, and it'll go full, 3-2. $15 hit attack for the Orioles and 8 runs here tonight. Buck Showalter, after his 900th win, the 64th manager to get it. 3-2 delivery in the air to right field. That is launched. Markakis back at the wall, and a goodbye home run. So Joyce with 2 down in the 9th inning. Lifts one out of the yard, and that'll be number 8.
Yeah, 3-2 pitch. Target down from Wieters. Beltai out over the plate. And just off that, close to the back wall, off the fan's glove in right center field.
I used to do that when I knew it was going to be a home run. I used to pick a fan that looked kind of reliable to me, and I used to go up, try to climb that wall and stick my glove into his glove without looking at the ball.
Interesting concept.
Unfortunately, usually about
40 rows up.
40 fans there, all looking like they were going to catch it.
Makes it an 8-3 ball game. Here's Brad Hopp. He'll foul it back, and again, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 delivery. So close.
Take a look at his 0-2 pitch from Koji. Late movement. No pullback by Wieters.
1-2 delivery.
That's a carbon copy. As
this strike zone
sort of opens up, and he can certainly tell high and low. Look at Koji's reaction.
And the 2-2 pitch. In the air, it is deep, going back. Patterson at the wall, and goodbye, home run. There's the kid you were talking about. He caught it. Brad Hopp delivers the long ball. Back-to-back homers here in the 9th inning. Orioles still lead at 8-4. That was the kid you were looking for, Brady.
He's a little deep for me. But, yeah, nice play out there.
3 in a row, low middle of the plate. And the third one, Brad Hopp doesn't miss it.
Nice play right there. That would have been the kid out who went right into his glove and maybe
he ended up with a couple.
We'll never forget this night. Look at this.
That's
kid.
the best.
The glove is as big as he is.
That is the moment.
That's pretty sweet play right there.
Yeah. How much is that smile worth?
Hit a Rays fan behind him. What? Telling him he's playing out of position? I had him played perfectly.
You got to get him to sign. Going to sign the book. Oh, wow. That was great. All right, B.J. Upton now. Sure, Buck Showalter's going. Yeah, this is a lot of fun, but let's end this.
Yeah, enough is enough. I'm sure Koji felt like he had strike 4 and strike 5.
0-1 count. B.J. Upton, he will take it for a strike, and the fans, little Bronx cheer for Bill Welke, the home plate umpire.
He's making him and he should. You know, you see that pitch. Go ahead, Flan. I'm sorry.
All I'm saying is, you may be right. He just wants to be the third strike to be a swinging strike.
1-2 delivery, and that'll be in the air to right. This one's playable, and this one is in the book. As the Orioles come away with an 8-4 win, and Buck Showalter gets his 900th career win as a manager, the 64th Major League manager ever to reach that level. We'll return. Koji Uehara can smile even though there were a couple of home runs in the inning as the Orioles won it by a score of 8-4.